Michael, it's me, Grace.
Who are you? I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Years ago, Grace sacrificed her entire university education so Michael could achieve his dreams. But now that he is successful, he pretends he has never met her.
Grace and Michael had been inseparable since secondary school. They were more than friends, they were partners in dreams, ambition, and the hope that one day they would build a life together. Every afternoon, they would sit under the big mango tree behind their school, books open, heads bent together, whispering about exams, life, and the future. Michael was confident, charming, and full of energy, while Grace was quiet, thoughtful, and determined. Yet, together, they balanced each other perfectly. "I will become successful one day," Michael said one afternoon, staring at the sky. "And when I do, I'll make sure we have the life we always dreamed of." Grace smiled softly. "I believe you," she said. And in that moment, neither of them imagined the challenge that awaited them. The day university admission letters arrived was one of the happiest days of their lives. Grace tore hers open first. "I got in," she whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. Michael opened his letter and his face lit up. We did it, Grace," he exclaimed. They hugged, imagining the life ahead, living on campus, studying together, building dreams, and sharing every milestone. But joy quickly turned to worry. Michael's family could not afford his tuition. The fees were too high, and his savings weren't enough. Grace noticed the cloud of anxiety in his eyes. "What's wrong?" she asked gently. Michael looked down, ashamed. I don't know how I'll manage," he admitted. "I might have to give up this opportunity." Grace's heart sank. She could see his dreams crumbling. She knew she had to do something. That night, she sat alone in her small room, staring at the envelope of money she had saved for her own tuition. She thought about the future she had planned, the lectures she would have attended, the courses she would have loved, and the life she wanted for herself. But she also thought about Michael, the nights he spent studying, his endless hope, and the promise he had made to her. The next morning, she approached him, her hands shaking as she held the envelope. This is your tuition," she said softly. Michael's eyes widened. "Grace, I can't accept this," he said, shaking his head. "You need this more than I do," she replied. "I'll find another way. Your dream matters more." Michael's voice trembled. I could never accept that. You deserve this as much as I do." Tears welled in Grace's eyes. "Please, just go. Make our dreams real," she whispered. Michael hugged her tightly. "I promise. I will never forget this," he said, and with that, he left for university while Grace stayed behind, sacrificing her dreams so he could have his. Michael's university life was intense. He attended lectures from morning till evening, studied late into the night, and sometimes skipped meals to focus on his assignments. Every top grade, every achievement, reminded him of Grace's sacrifice. He made friends, joined clubs, faced challenges, and experienced both triumphs and setbacks, but through it all, Grace was never far from his thoughts. Meanwhile, Grace's life became a test of endurance. She worked multiple jobs, tutoring, assisting at a library, helping local businesses. Some days were exhausting, some nights, she cried quietly, thinking of the life she had given up. Yet, through every struggle, she held on to hope. She reminded herself why she had done it, why love sometimes required giving up what you wanted most. Weeks became months. Grace's savings ran low, but her spirit remained strong. She started keeping a journal, writing her goals and plans for the future, promising herself that she would return to education one day. Michael, meanwhile, graduated with top honors. His career took off quickly. He moved to a new city, rented a comfortable apartment, and began working at a prestigious company. Promotions, recognition, and new responsibilities followed. His life had changed, and success had become his new reality. Grace, though, continued to persevere. She enrolled in university a year later, balancing night shifts with lectures and assignments. She studied late into the night, skipped social events, and pushed herself harder than she ever imagined. Each exam passed and every paper completed was a step closer to reclaiming her dream. End of part 1. Dramatic pause. Grace working tirelessly while Michael thrives, leaving viewers anticipating her reunion with him. Years later, Michael had become a successful businessman. He was hosting a grand event filled with influential people, flashing cameras, and applause. Grace attended, now confident, composed, and accomplished, carrying herself with dignity and pride. When Michael saw her, he froze. His face registered a flicker of recognition, quickly masked by a polite, almost cold smile. "Michael, it's me, Grace," she said softly, stepping closer. He paused, his eyes narrowing slightly, and replied carefully, "I'm sorry. I think you have the wrong person." Grace felt her chest tighten, but she did not falter. Whispers began to ripple through the crowd as people recognized her. Stories circulated quietly: Grace, the girl who had sacrificed her education so Michael could succeed. People started realizing the truth. Michael realized too late what everyone knew. He tried to approach her, but Grace stepped back. "I didn't sacrifice my future for recognition or praise," she said calmly. "I did it because I loved you. And I will never regret that." Grace walked away, leaving Michael to grapple with his realization. He had gained wealth and status but had lost the person who had truly believed in him. Yet this was not the end of Grace's story. She poured herself into her education, graduating with top honors, gaining respect from professors, peers, and employers. She established a successful career, earning independence and a life built on her own merit. She learned that true strength is measured not by wealth or status, but by the courage to rise after betrayal, to rebuild, and to reclaim your dreams. Years later, Grace attended a professional conference. Michael was there, surrounded by people praising his success. But when he saw Grace, he realized she had not only survived, she had thrived. He approached cautiously. "Grace, I didn't mean." She smiled politely but firmly. "Michael, I hope you've learned something important," she said. "Success is meaningless if it costs the people who love you most." She walked away, not with anger or bitterness, but with pride, dignity, and the knowledge that she had risen above heartbreak. Grace's journey became a quiet reminder: sacrifice may wound, betrayal may hurt, but determination, resilience, and self-belief can turn even the deepest pain into triumph. And in that triumph, Grace had everything she had ever dreamed of: her education, her career, her independence, and her self-respect.